Civilizational erasure starts with the word. Long before the stone itself crumbles, the script disappears, leaving the history it carried unreadable. In 1944, legal scholar Raphael Lemkin developed the scholarly and legal framework for genocide to describe a specific category of state-sponsored destruction. Lemkin looked specifically to the Armenian experience under the Ottoman Empire to define the parameters of this international crime. Mass execution and forced starvation provided the visible, physical baseline of the tragedy. Lemkin's analysis identified a deeper objective: the systematic dismantling of a people's language, culture, and sacred knowledge, their central logos. He concluded that genocide is an ontological crime designed to silence the unique, distributed destiny of an entire population. The geography of the Armenian highlands provides a comparative mythological framework for understanding how these imperial mechanics function. Sumerian myth describes the Anzu bird, an entity of storm and chaos that sought to seize ultimate authority over the cosmos. Authority was manifest in the Tablet of Destinies, this physical record of the divine decrees governing language, fate, and civilization. In its ultimate transgression, the Anzu bird stole and swallowed the Tablet of Destinies to control the laws of existence. Imperial dictators operate with the same intent, attempting to swallow the autonomous cultural destiny of a subjugated population. Genocide is the imperial attempt to consume a distributed destiny by silencing the physiological code of its keepers. The imperial narrative requires absolute uniformity. It cannot permit the existence of autonomous points of cultural origin. This totalizing identity is a mechanism of control. When one acts, the entire network is rendered as a monolithic block. If one person defies the order, the whole group becomes structurally guilty. Perpetrators use this to reframe genocide as an administrative response. This monolith contradicts the reality of human existence, which begins from the individual, first-person perspective. For the dictator, the primary threat is ontological, a distributed network of individuals holding an independent narrative code. The Armenian linguistic code was preserved and transmitted through these intricate, illuminated records. Unlike the external artifact in the Anzu myth, this logos is a conscious code embedded inside the human body. The community internalizes the tablet. It becomes a living phonetic geometry, where specific spoken sounds map directly to physical, anatomical acts. These anatomical locations create a worldview through the generation of speech. Erasing a biological code forces a transition from burning books to destroying the body itself. We map the Armenian phenomenological code across this sagittal cross-section of the human respiratory system. Speech begins at the diaphragm and lungs, generating the H sound, signifying spirit and breath. As the sound passes through the oral cavity, it becomes the AI glide, the generative flow. The sound strikes the back of the palate to produce the K, the point of impact, the axis mundi. Combining these acts spells the progenitor, hike, encoding the dawn light of revelation into physical speech. Finally, the nasal cavity resonates with the ina sound, the completion of the cycle. To silence this code, the empire targets the biological machinery that produces these specific markers. Erasing the keepers of the tablet involves silencing the breath, scattering the body, and breaking the physical palate. In the myth's conclusion, the Anzu bird is unable to digest the Tablet of Destinies. The stone remains lodged in its throat. This reflects the survival of the Armenian people. The code is somatically distributed across thousands of individuals, making it impossible to swallow entirely. Every exhaled breath is an act of regurgitation. The spoken word releases the unswallowed tablet back into the world. These acoustic waves physically impact the monolithic red network of the imperial narrative. The impact shatters the uniform network, restoring the population to autonomous, individual nodes. Each spoken number is a physical reaffirmation of the logos, ensuring the tablet can never be fully digested by the empire. Genocide is more than a historical tragedy. It is an ontological clash. It is the profound failure of a totalizing narrative to consume a distributed individual code of human existence. The survival of the Armenian language is a biological fact of cultural persistence. The continuous existence of the spoken word stands as the living physical defeat of the dictator's logic.